Everybody, Craig from URComped here. I've got a very special interview today. We're talking about Easy Play, which is a brand new technology. If you haven't seen it yet, you will soon because it's incredible. It's taken over the casino floor at a lot of different properties at Hollywood Gulf Coast. They've had huge success down there. So we're going to talk about it with Jaimie and Charleyn. So why don't you both introduce yourselves? Jaimie, we'll start with you.
Hi, I'm Jaimie McGuiness. I am the marketing manager.
Hi, I'm Charleyn Jacobson. I'm the casino operations manager here at Hollywood Gulf Coast.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you both for being here. Katie, our senior marketing manager, was down at your property a couple weeks ago, and she was like blown away by this Easy Play technology. So maybe we'll start with Charleyn. What is Easy Play? How is it different than traditional table games?
So Easy Play is a hybrid, as I like to refer to it as, with the new technology. With it has a live dealer. So it's like an ETG, which is an electronic table game, but you have an interaction with a live dealer.
And the interaction with the live dealer, are they, I guess maybe the next question will help us answer this one. Like, so what games are available? What table games are part of Easy Play?
We have a dual roulette, baccarat, craps, and blackjack.
Okay, roulette, baccarat, craps, and blackjack. And so let's take blackjack, for example. Is the dealer dealing the hands, and then there's people with different, each at their own station where they're placing bets, or how does that hybrid work?
So yes, the dealer deals the cards out of a shoe, but each customer is actually placing their bets on a slot unit and making their hit, stand, motion. So it's chipless. Yeah, they pretty much just make their bets right there on the slot unit and pay and take her instantly.
And then is the table the same size? Is it like 6 people to a table with Easy Play, or is it more, or is it less, or how the numbers work?
Actually, with this new technology with Interblock, you can have as many units as you want. So we currently have 5. And I would talk a little bit about Boomtown Biloxi. When they first started their Easy Play on the craps table, they started with 10 units. And then roughly about 4 months later, they increased 40% and went from 10 units to 14 units.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so they've got 14 units on the craps table. I guess that one makes sense. You've got one roller. So probably on a normal craps table, you're just limited by the size of the table, how many people, how many betting stations can be there on a normal table. So with Easy Play, if you put 14 or 20, that's not going to affect it, right? Because people can be sitting a little further back from the table. How does it work with blackjack? Is the dealer still dealing one hand for each station?
No, actually, yes. So they're dealing one hand per station, and a hand is exactly what a traditional blackjack table would look like. The only thing is it's minus the chips, right? So the customers would just hit on their slot unit, whether they want to hit, stay, and the dealer hits it with a card. The only difference is chipless, right? And the payouts. So there's no pay and take like you would with a traditional dealer. Once the dealer confirms the hand, boom, we're all paid, and yep. Then we move on to the next hand.
That's cool. So from a dealer perspective, is it like a light that lights up for hit or stay, like based on what the person?
Yes. The dealer has a monitor in front of them where they can see whether the customer wants to hit, stay, split, double.
So I wanted to add to her explanation of the Easy Play. What's great about the Easy Play is it's faster payouts because it is electronic. So you still get the human interaction with the dealer where you can kind of cut up, have some fun, talk about some things while they deal. But at the same time, it's faster payouts, it's accurate, the ratings are instant. So from an operations standpoint, we can have more hands, more bets, more money, more wins, more losses, whoever your point of view is. So it's really fun to watch. The other thing that's great about it is an intimidation factor. So people that are a little intimidated to join a table game, say, for example, someone who plays 100% slots, they would probably not walk up to a live table because if you don't know what you're playing on a table, the other players are probably going to tell you, get out of here, right?
Yeah.
So it helps somebody who's like, I've always wanted to try that. I know how to play slots. I understand how to, read the machine. So now I'm going to give it a try and try my luck on this new game. And ultimately, us here at Hollywood Gulf Coast, the First Resort, we love being leaders in innovation. We love trying new things. We love being able to tell our guests we have all the classic games, but we're also always going to try to have that newest thing that could really spark your interest.
That's really cool. And you make a couple of good points about that. I want to come back to the ratings, but first you talked about the intimidation factor. Does it, because I know one thing, talking to slot players, I think their biggest fear of sitting down in a blackjack game is somebody groaning, or, what are you doing? Like when they hit at the wrong time. Does the game give any instruction or like recommendations? Just curious on that, or is it more like reducing the intimidation factor is just, hey, this screen is something I'm familiar with because I play slots? Like maybe you could talk about that a little bit.
It removes intimidation factor altogether, right? It's confidential betting. So each player cannot see what the other player is betting or what their decision is, right? I've been a dealer for, I started dealing 30 years ago. And the most intimidating game that I've ever seen players try to learn and they really want to learn is craps, right? So the minute they walk up to a craps table, they drop the cash down. And of course, unbeknown to them, it's got a hot roll going on and then the whole table's yelling and screaming. But this removes all of that, right? So their bets are totally confidential. What they bet, other players cannot even see.
That makes a lot of sense. And I've been at one of those tables where everyone turned and some random guy is a villain because he walked up after, some guy's been rolling for 30 minutes and this guy's just trying to get in the game. He didn't realize the etiquette. So I can definitely see that on craps. Now on blackjack, is it, so you mentioned that the dealer's still dealing with each person. Is there still, I'd imagine there still is that part where somebody could hit when the dealer's showing a 16 or something. Is there, I guess there's no way to prevent that. Is there any like recommendations?
No.
Okay.
No.
So they could still make a dumb move and get the groans, but
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll learn.
They'll learn. Yes. And then I thought you made a really interesting point that I hadn't thought about with the ratings, because that's something where, in our business with URComped, we're trying to tell players, or I should say our customers are very conscious of their ratings, because obviously the better their ratings, the more accurate or higher their average bet looks, the better comps they're going to get down the road. And so without a system like this, it relies on a pit boss coming around and updating the average bet every few minutes or however often they're doing it. Whereas it sounds like this can do it in real time. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. And it rates just like at ETG, a skill-based, like a video poker game or video poker, and the ETGs, all the same.
Got it. So it's got the feel of a normal table game. It's just the bets are quicker. It sounds like did you mention there's more hands per hour as well?
Absolutely. If you think about the pay and take process, right? So even from training with dealers, like it's just 1 week of training to be able to be a smart pit host versus months of training for a traditional dealer. There's no chipless, right? Like, so there's no pay and take, accuracy of payouts, accuracy of ratings. There's a lot of benefits.
Now I saw this is years ago, and it may be similar technology, but it didn't sound, it sounded different in the sense that it was a lot of different stations. You could play blackjack, but essentially it was like the dealer was dealing, and then they had one hand that they were playing against. Everybody could bet on that one hand. And if I remember it right, it just wasn't quite as fun. It was more like stadium play of one live blackjack game. Whereas this one, sounds like it's normal blackjack. The experience is going to be the same. It's just you're buying into it like slot machine with a Tito and all that. So it's really just easing that aspect of it.
Yes.
Very cool. How long has this technology been around?
I want to say, so for us, Boomtown rolled it out in June of 2024 and Hollywood Gulf Coast in January, but we're the first outside of Las Vegas. So it hasn't been around too long.
Got it. Okay. And then, so from a staffing perspective, a blackjack table, it sounds like you're still just going to need one dealer per table. So staffing doesn't change on the blackjack side, but on the crap side, what's that table look like? Is there still 3 people at the table, or?
Absolutely not. So with opening this table right here with one dealer, we're already reducing 4 FTEs.
And I'd love to hear from both of you. How have players responded to this?
Players love it.
Mhm.
There's multiple side bets too, right? So if we just refer to the blackjack table, there's 9 different side bets. So even going back to referencing your hands per hour, yes, they have increased, right? If you think about a traditional dealer having to act on every 9 side bets plus the hand itself, you may get 10 hands an hour with that. But so we're able to provide more side bets at a lower limit. We have side bets on the blackjack table of 50 cents minimum.
Mm. And Jaimie, what from a marketing perspective, what have you seen from players' response to Easy Play?
I would say the same thing that Charleyn mentioned. They love having something new to try. They love being able to have a variety of entertainment options while they're here. Even someone who plays table games often is like, okay, now I can try some other things that I've been, wanting to try. If I'm feeling lucky today, I'll go for the big one. If not, I'm playing it safe. I can do all these other multiple betting options. So we're seeing good feedback all around.
Got it. Okay. And so from a dealer perspective on craps, they're just entering the number that was rolled, like dice 1, dice 2.
Yep.
And
They
then
just arm the roll.
And then on blackjack, are they entering in a system somehow what each hand result was, or they're still like they still do the math in their head and figure out who gets paid? How does that work?
So it's actually using a smart shoe, which is reading the cards as it comes out. So it knows, yes, it knows exactly what cards are being placed where.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So they're not having to do the math of, oh, I busted or I didn't bust. Cause
Nope.
I've been at tables before where I'm doing the math. I'm like, oh, that dealer's got 21, and then they think they have 22 and they pay the whole table. And, I was a young guy. I didn't open my mouth about us all getting paid out. I would now. I'm a better, person now. But anyway, it sounds like nowadays you wouldn't have to worry about that anymore. Just math errors with the dealer.
No, less errors. Also, one thing that I wanted to bring up in the like with a traditional game, with game security, you're always having to worry about, your person on third base or first base trying to pass post on that game. How about because everything's being bet through electronically on these units, we don't have to worry about that.
Got it. That makes sense. Okay. And let's see. So roulette, they would have just all the different numbers and bets that they could. So instead of putting chips out on the table, now they're just betting on a screen in front of them.
Yes. So roulette, what it is, it actually has 2 wheels, right? So a dealer would spin the right-handed wheel, which they're actually red and blue. So instead of saying right or left, they're referred to by color. Dealer would spin the ball on the, say, red wheel on the right side. Once the ball lands, confirm the number. We have AI with cameras on the table that'll pick up the number. Yes, they confirm, pay and take immediately, spin the next wheel. So it's almost like you're getting 2 spins in when you typically would probably getting 4 in when you would typically get in 1. Because now if you're thinking about a traditional roulette table, well, now we're clearing around the winning number and then mucking up all those chips, now doing the payouts before we can get to a spin on, the next spin.
And from a player perspective, so URComped members, customers are a little more cognizant. Like we teach them things like theoretical and things like that and how it plays in their comp. So if they're playing an easy play roulette, if there's 4 times as many chances, more wagers, is their theoretical going to go up accordingly?
So it would all be based on, their bet and average time on device. But when you're getting more hands and more often, you're going to be earning more tier points, more pen cash. So they're going to start to see the results of playing those games.
Nice. So Boomtown and Hollywood Gulf Coast, are those 2 properties the initial testing grounds for this?
Yes.
Yeah, we're both part of Penn Entertainment. So Boomtown Biloxi is our sister property. They rolled it out first and we saw their success and said, let's go. So we, as a leader in the industry and with Penn Entertainment, we're the first in Mississippi, as well as outside of Vegas, like Charleyn mentioned.
So is Interblock, so they're the developers of this technology. Is this, have you had a long relationship with Interblock? Have you tried out other technology of theirs?
Yes, we do. We have ETGs here now on the floor, but these are not dealer assist ETGs. It's like
Okay.
regular bots.
Okay. Let's see. So will there be any Easy Play specific promotions, giveaways, or tier multipliers for pen play accounts?
So we started off with an awesome ribbon cutting with some free bets to get people aware, to get them trying it. And we have a lot of ideas coming up, tournaments, more giveaways. But ultimately, if they could play with their member card now, they're earning tier points and pen cash by playing on them. So it's affecting their offers and all the other things that we can give them here.
Nice. And so can you speak to how like Smart Pit and Easy Play connect for with other innovations like cashless gaming or linked progressive jackpots?
So currently right now at this moment, we do not have the 3 Cs connected. And it's basically because of the free bets, right? Like it's just like any other ETG, your free bets are only on bets that would pay even money. Right now, the software is not that sophisticated to be able to tell the difference. So it's disabled at the moment.
And when you say 3 Cs, what is that?
That's our cashless, contactless, and cardless.
So we call it the pen wallet. So it's kind of like Apple Pay. All you do is you tap your phone against the slot machine or the area on the table, and you fund your app, and then your app transfers it to the game.
Yeah, you
So
can
that's a
fund your
whole,
favorite
a
game.
whole other thing to talk about that we love here.
I was about to say, I brought that up, and Craig, that's probably another whole interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll save that one.
Though, like, yes.
Now going back to craps, I really enjoy craps. I enjoy rolling, but I'm still a novice when it comes to the bets in the sense that, I'm supposed to, a multiple of 6 on this number, but no, it's supposed to be a multiple of 7 or whatever. It's like that part is complicated. I'll put money out and they're like, oh, no, here's $2 back. So does this help with that aspect of knowing what multiple to bet and things like that?
It absolutely does, right? So the fact that, and I keep going back to being chipless, right? So there's so many benefits to that. And one being that the dealer has more time to explain the game to someone versus having to, do payouts while they're taking bets in and people are rolling the dice. There's also a help screen. You hit the help screen and it explains every bet and what the payout is and how it's calculated. Yeah.
Is there still the camaraderie in a game in craps? Because I think that's one thing that people love about craps. You're around the table, you're high-fiving, and there's a hot streak going. What's kind of the vibe of the Easy Play craps table?
The same vibe. They're just a little bit further apart from each other though, and I think they like that. So the shooter actually, their screen mirrors, right? The monitor that they're betting on, it mirrors to a screen on the table, and the shooter stands in the same spot. So the shooter actually gets up and comes next to the table and throws the dice. And they're all interacting like, oh man, you need to throw this. And yeah, it's still happening.
So the roller moves from their station and goes to one spot. So there's a designated spot where you're rolling from.
Yep.
Okay. That's actually cool because sometimes depending on where you're at the table, you're kind of cocked sideways and you're throwing it,
Right.
If you're not.
They're rolling physical dice, which is like on other of the ETGs, it's just a button. And, that's always been a thing for me. My background was definitely table games.
Mm-hmm.
And, when I see friends of mine playing like video poker or whatever, just my opinion, I'm going, how do I know there's 6 decks in there? Or how do I know that's one deck I'm playing with, Whereas here, to me, it's physical dice.
Are there any other like cool parts about Easy Play that we didn't touch on? Start with you, Jaimie.
I would just say kind of it's still a table game. Table game players have a different personality than a slot player or video poker player. They still have the option to interact, cut up, have a good time, brag about their hands. But it's the reality of getting faster payouts, bigger, win more. You can play more, win more. and just trying new things. That's one thing that we really like here at the First Resort. So we're just really excited that you guys thought it was cool too.
No, I'm dying to come try it out. Yeah, Katie was raving about it. She, yeah, that was definitely the highlight, I think, of her trip, was seeing that in action. She's like, we got to do an interview to talk about this. So I'm definitely excited about it. Charleyn, anything you'd like to add?
So I think the interaction with the smart pit hosts, and I'm gonna have to refer to them as smart pit hosts, which we started calling them casino tainers, right? It's just the interaction. There's so much more interaction. It brings so much enthusiasm to, could be a traditional slot player that said, hey, I've always wanted to try table games, but I just don't know, right? So we're seeing more of that.
And with the variety of offerings we have. So we mentioned we have dual roulette, baccarat, blackjack, and craps. And we're able to offer a $3 minimum on blackjack, or is it $5?
It's three.
Yeah, so a $3 minimum on blackjack and $5 minimums on our other games. So we like to say there's never been a better time to try.
Yeah.
Now I've got one more question. What do you call them? Table tainers, or what's the
Casino tainers. So
casino tainers?
So with the concept of rolling out this pit, it was okay. So again, we don't have like the months of training for dealers. So now we need to look at, what do we need to hire for, right? So now we're doing panel interviews, and we're hiring for great personality, somebody that has a natural ability to entertain. And the customers love that interaction.
Because there's not the pressure on them to have to do the math quickly.
Yep. They have more time, you know, and and the pressure as well, just like you said, the pressure of, you know, becoming a break-in dealer per se, and having customers at your table, and you're counting, and you're worried about the payouts, and you have more time to interact. So yeah.
Now, one question I have is about tips, because there's a lot of benefits to going cashless. But one thing that's nice about tips is it's easy to just throw a blue chip up, or, you know, you get the cocktail server come around, tip them. Is there, I guess, how does that work with Easy Play?
So Easy Play dealers can accept a Tito ticket for a tip. They can take cash for a tip, but more importantly, the customers bet on their unit for the dealers.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
That's nice that they thought about that.
Yeah, of course. And our Easy Play dealers, which we call them smart pit hosts, right? They go for their own, like a poker dealer.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
I think that's another interview, because I was on a panel one time where they talked about that. There's a little debate between pooled tips and then keeping their own tips. And I think universally, everyone agreed that, like, there's better customer service when people are keeping their own tips.
Yep.
That makes
Absolutely.
sense. Well, hey, this was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I'm more excited now to play Easy Play. I got to come down to Gulf Coast and try it out. Charleyn, Jaimie, thank you very much. Anything else? Any parting words for the URComped family that's tuning into this?
Oh, please come down and check us out at the Gulf Coast. We will not disappoint.
You'll have a good time.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, everybody, look for your offers. Look for your Gulf Coast offers on URComped. And thank you again, Jaimie and Charleyn, for your time. I learned a ton. I know a lot of people will as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.